And the big story still remains Emil's investigation into the judiciary, and following that, 22 court judges have been suspended, including 12 High Court judges, and there have been a lot of commentary on it. And former President Jerry John Rawlings issued a statement today, and he says he's very saddened by the revelation that several members of the judiciary have been implicated in a bribery scandal. He's called for circumspection and tact in dealing with the matter. In a statement, he says, and I quote, "I feel sad about it and makes them as vulnerable as others. Times are really hard, and there's no doubt some would have done it out of greed, like some of our politicians, businessmen, and so-called men of God. It is important that the relevant institutions and authorities take the necessary steps to investigate fully these revelations and deal appropriately with the guilty culprits. The media and the public must also show restraint and circumspection so as not to destroy the reputation of the innocent ones." And that's a statement by the former President Jerry John Rawlings. And the suspension took effect from today, and also the sitting, we understand, began today. And a 5-member disciplinary committee headed by a Supreme Court judge to establish a prima facie case against justices who have been caught in a bribery scandal commenced its work today. The Judicial Council set up the committee to investigate the allegations as uncovered by undercover investigator Anas Emil Anas. Komla Kluche has more.
An unusually heavily choked car park at administration block of the judiciary when the courts are on recess. Deep sources within the building confirmed to the 5-member committee investigating the 22 circuit court judges and magistrate is headed by a Supreme Court judge. No word will emanate from any official source at the judiciary, but outside the court, normal activities have not been affected. One investigative piece by Anas Emil Anas has sent the whole judicial service jittery over bribery allegations. 22 circuit court and magistrate and 12 high court judges are being investigated for the bribery allegation. Some clerks who were seen on the video have expressed worry over the undercover investigations and have expressed concern over a fair hearing. It remains unclear how long the investigations will take.
And the Director, Faculty of Academic Affairs and Research at the Kofi Annan International Peacekeeping and Training Center, Dr. Kofi Annan, has recommended a recall and a review of all cases adjudicated by judges whose names have been mentioned in the corruption scandal within the judiciary. He spoke on TV3's flagship current affairs program, Hot Issues.
I think we need to celebrate world-class journalism, because what Anas has done is world-class journalism, almost incomparable. So I doff my hat to Anas and his team. But at least if the institution has a reputation for fairness and objectivity, and sometimes some neutrality, then what has happened means several things. One, for all those who feel that they brought cases before the implicated judges, those who lost will now feel they've been treated unfairly. Now it is contingent upon those who have seen the video and Her Lordship, the Chief Justice and the President, I think, to quickly come out with a set of statements about the way forward. Now, if the film took 2 years, and on average, these individuals have been in the service for 10 years, my suggestion is that every single case that has passed through the hands of these individuals must be recalled. The state must pay for the cases to be re-examined, and for those who feel that they need redress, for compensations to be paid quickly.
And a full version of Hot Issues will come on Saturday at 12 noon right here on TV3. We're staying on this issue and we've been joined on the phone line by former Commissioner of Shraj, Justice Emil. A very good evening to you, sir, and thank you so much for joining us.
Good evening, and thank you for inviting me to speak to you.
All right, sir. I want to start off by asking you, how did you get to hear of it? For most people, when you ask them, they say, well, they heard it in the media or one platform or the other. How did it come to you?
I read it in the Daily Graphic.
And were you surprised by the revelations?
I was surprised by the number of people involved. Of course, I've heard about corruption in the judiciary before, but I think what I found shocking and surprising was the number of judicial officers involved, as well as the number of judges and magistrates involved. I think that is what's surprising.
Justice, I could barely hear you. If you could help us by just raising your voice.
I was surprised by the number of judicial officers involved.
Okay.
I had heard before about corruption, about certain judges, taking bribes. But what surprised me was the number of judicial officers, in particular the number of judges, circuit court and magistrates that are involved or implicated in this expose.
All right. For most people right now, a lot of people want to see it because they've also heard about it or read it in the dailies. What is your own take on it? Do you think it should be made public? And if it should, what results will that give us?
Well, I don't want to take any position on whether it should be made public or not. I think Anas himself, who did the investigation, must take that decision. And if anybody wants to stop him, then that person has to go to court and stop him. I think the ball is in his court, and it is not for me to tell him whether he should or he should not.
Okay, all right. And we understand the process itself has begun. I want to find out from you that this could take a very long time. For the public, they want to see justice and see it now. Can you please share with us how we should manage this scandal that has come out?
Well, I think the Judicial Council and the Chief Justice have taken action expeditiously, given the time within which these disclosures were made. And I think it is important that the matter is dealt with expeditiously and is dealt with decisively. That would alleviate any loss of confidence that the public has in the judicial system. Of course, the people involved are presumed innocent until proved guilty, and therefore due process has to take place. In other words, they have to be given a hearing, and that, of course, takes a little bit time. But I think every effort should be made to expedite the process, because the integrity of the judiciary is at stake. At the same time, I must say that I think that some people are making a lot of generalizations and branding the entire judiciary as being corrupt. I think that's unfortunate. I think that there are many judges and magistrates who carry out their duties, in all honesty and without getting involved in corruption. And it is important that we put everything in perspective and be very measured in some of the comments that have been made.
We picked up information this evening that the lawyers for some of the judges, for instance, are saying Anas must be cross-examined. Most of us don't even know him. He's an undercover agent and does this. How important is his evidence, besides whatever we see in the video, to either confirming or letting go of these judges?
Well, I mean, Anas is known. He's there. I chaired a workshop recently, about 2 weeks ago, at the British Council, in which Anas was the guest speaker. Although he appears, but he covers his face. So, and I think he has appeared before the Judicial Council, obviously disguised. So if there is a need for him to give evidence, I'm sure he can do so. But the evidence, he has concrete evidence from what I have read, audio tapes as well as videotapes, which can be put into evidence. And but you know, the whole process, the whole procedure will be determined by, you know, the committee that is set up to investigate the matter, or if the matter is going to court, the court, or if there are any objections to be raised. Such objections will be dealt with by the judicial panel handling the matter.
Okay. The public is excited about it. Obviously, they want to know the details on a daily basis. And the former President Rawlings issued a statement asking for restraints, especially, you know, on the part of the media and the like. Where do we draw the line? When does it become too much? Issues relating to this, the judges being discussed in the media.
Well, I think that we should be circumspect in our utterances. I made that comment already, that the media, you know, should restrain itself, and it is important that we do not paint a broad brush of corruption against the whole judiciary, because there are many judges and magistrates out there who are carrying out their duties without. And the judiciary is such an important institution, which, you know, has to be sustained. And we don't want to give the impression that, you know, as I have read, some say that, well, presently justice is for sale in the judiciary, and therefore there is no point in taking your case to court, and so on. I think we need to step back a little bit and avoid making such generalizations and statements which would tend to completely erode public confidence in the judiciary. We must be careful and circumspect and restrained in some of the statements we make. Let due process take its course. Let the investigation continue. The only thing that it has to be done expeditiously and decisively, so that the public confidence in the judiciary will be sustained.
All right. This, we understand, has gone on for 2 years. The investigation is done by Anas, and obviously he will trim it. And for most people, it will be the edited version that they will watch. And how important, for instance, are video evidence in cases like this, given that it's edited?
Well, that's a matter that the court will have to decide on. The court or the committee that is looking into the matter will have to decide on the admissibility of such evidence. You know, it's not for me to sit here and to make a determination of that matter. Even if I am able to do it, I wouldn't, in my position, you know, make a pronouncement about a legal issue like this. I think that it is inappropriate for me to be making such legal pronouncements.
All right. Justice Emil Short, we want to thank you so much for joining us on News at 10. And that was Justice Emil Short, former Commissioner of the Commission for Human Rights and Administrative Justice.